Friends, I hope that you see what's going on here. We have an absolute confirmation just from a random source, being from this picture here that's being deciphered. We have absolute confirmation for everything that I have already told you concerning the Garden of Eden event and the New York symbolic symbol of that event being projected from the past to the present, from the micro to the macro, from the quantum particle to the material reality. That manifestation that we're all dealing with is being displayed to us exactly right here by a holographic means. And for us to understand that better, what you're going to have to understand is what a hologram is, or a holographic universe. Now, when I say that, like most, they try to claim that reality isn't real because of the workings of a hologram. I say the opposite. Reality is very real. It's just that it works on holographic terms. So as we see, a hologram can be researched possibly here as fractal geometry, and that's what we're working with. The building off of is fractals. So first off, we have to understand what we're looking at, and we're looking at a drawing of a hologram that most likely many of you have encountered maybe when you were young and you pulled out something out of a cereal box like a prize, and it would have that wavy piece of plastic that had a picture on it, and when you turn the plastic back and forth, the picture would appear in 3D. Well, that's a hologram. Here's how a hologram works. A hologram is storing information and it projects it into a material reality. Remember that. As we come back down here, here's what you need to understand. No matter how I break this piece, if I were to break it or cut it, no matter how many pieces I cut it into, I will always project the same information. So if I was to split that in half, I would not have a hologram with one half of an apple here and the other half over here. I would have a perfect mirror image of the original apple on both halves. So what you got to understand is the Garden of Eden event is a micro projection from the past that projects itself with the very same information potential to manifest in the future as the macro event that I've explained. So this picture is further confirmation of everything that I've told you. Remember, I said it starts in the Garden of Eden. Well, now you know that these are the sun and the moon. What you have to understand is that this is depicted of as in the beginning. This is the Eden, or this is the Genesis. I told you all this starts off in Genesis. What you also have to understand is that it says that we have every precious stone was his covering, and here we have the stones and the coverings that are on them. Well, let's think about this here. We have this 666, which we know these sons of God have manifested themselves into the material. Well, of course, I said that the serpent represents the material essence or manifestation of Lucifer, which manifests itself by the temptation through Eve as the apple. Well, as we see here, we have the merchandise. Well, that merchandise represents the knowledge of good and evil, the duality, as we see the reflection of the duality here. Here's what's important, which you haven't heard, which I hope you should see. Remember, I told you that Barack Obama is that one where Barack means to tread or trample underfoot. And I said that he is that mystery beast. Well, right before we enter in total immersion into the material illusion known as the New World Order, here we have Barack being symbolized as the trampling foot in perfect sequential order, as the embodiment of the good and evil in both personifications in one man. Let me remind you that he represents the one world government as the harbinger for it, but he also represents good and evil in its manifestation of his dual personality, which means he is both the evil and the good. Try maybe Obama or try maybe Osama. That is why he fills himself out as both the good and the bad for metaphysical purposes, to create an energy in which he can increase his persona from. So now you see, my friends, and I'm sorry I had to talk fast, but I'm working against the clock. Everything is absolutely in place. And as we enter in after the tread and trampling of the foot, we create the New World Order, and then we have the emergence of the Antichrist. Now, I have not even told you or blown you away yet. You wait till I come back and give you the rest of this.